Turns out I have a lot of Strats. I accumulated a few over the years, 10 to be exact. I'm gonna go through all 10 guitars and show you what I think they do best first. So I'm gonna go into the same Fender amp with a 212. I have a few different flavors of overdrive on that clean platform. These are pedals that I think bring out the best in all these subsequent Stratocasters you're about to hear. Without further ado, this is an American Fender Texas Special. I bought this guitar from Guitar Center in Asheville, North Carolina, where I lived at the time, after I got to 10,000 subscribers on Facebook. That's right, before I had YouTube, I was on Facebook. Shout out to you guys who have been along the ride for, well, what, 7 years now? 2015, I think, is when I posted my first Facebook video. Anyway, this was the first purchase in the name of my business endeavor as a content creator, and it's always been near and dear to me. It's got some great Planet Tone pickups I put in here, and this neck is easily my favorite kind of Fender aesthetic. It's simply a joy to play. This is a Danelectro 84, and Steve from Danelectro was one of the first people to believe in my YouTube channel and actually pay me in addition to provide gear, which was a big deal back when brands were just sort of understanding what social media was and what content creators could do for them. And content creators, on the contrary, were just figuring out what we were worth. So Steve was one of those forward-thinking guys that just got it with the whole social media thing, and I'm really grateful for him. This guitar, it's nothing fancy, and that's what makes it great. It's just a solid guitar with a kick-ass neck and spanky lipstick pickups that fill an essential spot in my Strat arsenal. This is the Yngwie Malmsteen signature Fender Strat, and it's easily the most unique Strat I own due to the scalloped neck. This guitar is special to me because right after I got it, I happened to be in touch with Yngwie Malmsteen, and I got to talk to him and ask him what about scalloped frets were so attractive, what made him innovate the entire craft of scalloping guitar necks. And well, it was just like a really memorable thing. I've been listening to Yngwie since I was like 14, and now here I am years later talking to him about his guitars and playing his guitar. This guitar, speaking of it, aside from the overall feel of the neck, which is not as much of an adjustment as you'd think, the pickups are 3 Seymour Duncan YJM Fury pickups, which have hum canceling. So it makes for a total shred machine, especially at high gain levels. This is the Ernie Ball Music Man Cutlass. I've always said this guitar does a Strat better than a Strat. And anyone who's ever been to my studio or Doug at Rumble Seat Music, who sets up my guitars, anyone who plays this guitar is always like, damn, that's a sick guitar, dude. There's just something about Ernie Ball Music Man guitars. They're just nicer than everything else. The humbucker in the bridge makes this guitar extremely versatile, and the vibe of this thing is just off the charts. have the Her signature Fender Strat, and this is my only made in Mexico Strat for what it's worth, and it gives you that cool 60s era Strat vibe with a mid 60s C-neck, kind of just like fills out your hand without getting in the way. 6-saddle vintage style, synchronized tremolo adds some cool texture, and the noiseless pickups kill the hum and buzz. It's just a really cool guitar. Sounds great, plays great, and I imagine it may be a collector's item one day if Her keeps going on this trajectory. Kind of reminds me of Prince, and that's pretty cool because Prince was Prince. Nobody else is Prince. I'm not saying that, but she reminds me of Prince, and that's a compliment, I think. This is the Paoletti Stratospheric, and it's made of 150-year-old Italian wine barrels. How can a guitar that looks this good not sound amazing, right? The answer is it can't. It has to sound good. And it does! The hand-wound pickups are a highlight on this axe, along with these knobs, which are made out of antique shotgun shells. Shotgun shells. This is a Fender Custom Shop 56 thin line Strat, and I bought this guitar completely on looks. I'm not in love with the sound, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the thicker 50s style neck. It's kind of chunky to fret certain riffs. But I mean, is this not like the coolest looking guitar ever? Just look at it. The semi-hollow, got that Eric Johnson vibe. We've all done it, right? Talked ourselves into the guitar we didn't really like simply because it looked so cool and you just wanted to own it and have it, bring it home. I love this guitar dearly despite my slander of it. Always with this guitar. This is the PRS Silver Sky, and out of any guitar on this list, the Silver Sky is probably the one that needs no spec rundown, so all I'll say about this one is that I bought this guitar as a collectible. It's the limited lunar ice color. I know it's not a nebula, but leave it to PRS to take an iconic guitar style and somehow make it their own. The pickups are my favorite part of this guitar. This is my home-built Silver Surfer guitar. It has a completely aluminum neck with some Texas special pickups, silver appointments, and an absolutely delightful ice blue Squire body. This is one of the coolest guitars in the world. Get it? Cool.
Ice blue. Oh, I'm sorry.
This here's my pride and joy. You knew it was coming. My 1972 all-original Fender Stratocaster Lake Placid Blue. Oh baby, if you're a regular viewer, you know the story of this guitar. It's just very special to me. It took me a long time to work up the courage to actually get it, and I did a lot of research in finding it. And well, I can't say I'm disappointed in how it's turned out. I've owned it for a couple months now, and it's just a wonderful workhorse guitar. Like, I actually play this thing all the time. I may be biased, but I think it does actually sound the best out of all the guitars in the video. But you'll have to let me know in the comments when we're finished here. So now that you've heard all the guitars in their elements, I'm going to go back to back, all 10 guitars with a clean tone. And you know, it'd be crazy to go through all the pickups. I'm just gonna do the neck pickup comparison for all of these. I think that's the most accurate Strat representation, don't you? Please leave a comment, let me know which guitar you prefer and which manufacturer you wish made this list. Maybe when I get 10 more Strats one day, I'll do a part 2.